Well, I'm now my couple of days off from work, so I've had a chance now to give Need for Speed a proper go through, and well, I did spend a fair bit more time with it after I did the last video, and I have to say, it, it has now gone back to GameStation. Got 25 quid for it, so basically, I owned it for 7 days, and it cost me £7-8. So a rather expensive rental more than anything else, but I did come across a lot more things that I didn't mention in the previous video purely because I hadn't unlocked them, got that far in the game yet. Uh, it, there was a lot of good things. I mean, I can't comment on it in respect to the latest racing games because, as I explained before, I've not played well, I think I've played Forza, but I've definitely not played Forza 2, and I've not played Gran Turismo since A-Spec on the PS2. So I'm way behind with stuff like that. As I mentioned, Burnout Paradise is the closest I've got to anything along these lines. So I still don't really have a chance to put it alongside its current competitors, but it did have a few interesting features. Like I did actually notice like the different feel of all the cars and stuff. Like when I was getting further into game, getting more of the supercars, and typically, as I've always known, when I get to the rear-wheel drive cars, I still have no idea how to handle them. So I mean, at least handling-wise, it seems to be up there with at least the games I remember. And one quite cool feature, because I stuck with the default viewpoint of actually being behind the wheel, which is, I believe, the big selling point they're trying to push. That it actually feels like you're behind the wheel of a car. I did notice when I got into some of the harder races where I was getting bashed about quite a bit that you do actually feel the damage. And when you have like a high impact collision, the screen will actually go blurry, like as if you'd felt it, because you would be dazed, confused for that split second or however long, depending on what the impact of the crash was. And if this keeps happening, eventually you'll get like a split across your windshield, so you won't be able to see quite as well. Of course, you can get around this by just changing the viewpoint and like going to the camera like beneath the car or something. But I didn't bother with that. I thought it was quite authentic and just enjoyed that aspect of it. But and I also noticed going from what you start out with, like the proper road type cars, to the more sports cars and supercars, etc. I mean, I blatantly know nothing about cars. I watch Top Gear, but mainly for the challenges. I really don't care that much about cars, which should have been enough to tell me not to buy this game, but I'm an idiot, what can I say? But you do actually notice the difference in ride height and stuff like that. Well, at least from the viewpoint of being behind the wheel. I mean, I don't think it would change that much the view beneath the car or behind the car or whatever. But I did like you. They actually included something like that. But at the end of the day, I found myself playing it to try and get my money's worth, just to kind of prove that I hadn't wasted what ended up being about £8 of money on this game. And that's not a mindset I want to get into. That's not a. I have enough other games that I think well, enough games that I haven't even tried yet. Never mind the ones that I know I can just put in and enjoy, like for instance Super Mario World. So I didn't want to waste my time trying to wring every little last bit out of it, or trying to get more achievement points or whatever, because by default for some reason I bought it on the 360, so I decided to call it quits there. However, I did when I was thinking about what I might say in this video, I did think it's kind of the same way I feel about the new Champ Manager game. That is a game again where I've bought it. Admittedly, it's nowhere near as expensive as Need for Speed. I mean, it cost me £3.50, so it's not really comparable that way. But I have noticed, as I'm still playing it, I'm in my 4th season now, that it is pretty much a game that if I could sell it and get money back, or any way, shape, or form do something like that, then I probably would. It probably wouldn't be on my hard drive anymore. But because it was a digital download and I can run it windowed, and being a management game, I can do plenty of other things at the same time, then I have found I've managed to stick with it. But because of the nature of something like Need for Speed, it's taking up valuable, well, I'll say gaming time that something that can run in the background like Champ Manager doesn't, which is the only distinction I can see between the two. So yeah, I would recommend it if you are into cars. I still don't think it's a bad game, but I'm more of a motorsport than a car person, so it's just not the game for me, and that is still my opinion.